His easygoing charm and natural charisma made him popular with his peers. He was beginning to think seriously about college, about scholarships, about a future beyond high school, a prospect that filled Reba with a mix of immense pride and a pang of melancholy. Her children were growing up, spreading their wings, preparing to leave the nest, and soon, her bustling home would feel emptier, quieter. Cheyenne, now in her mid-20s, was thriving in her interior design business. She had discovered a talent for creating beautiful, functional spaces, blending her innate sense of style with a keen understanding of her clients' needs. Her business was flourishing, and her clients adored her, drawn to her warmth and her creative vision. Her relationship with Van was stronger than ever. They had weathered the initial storms of insecurity, and now faced the future as a united front, planning for their own family. The news of Cheyenne's pregnancy had brought immense joy to the entire family, a new thread in their ever-expanding tapestry. One evening, Cheyenne and Van announced that they were considering moving into their own place, a small house they had found with a charming garden, just a few blocks away. Reba felt a familiar mix of emotions, immense happiness for their independence, for their ability to build their own life together, but also a sharp pang of sadness at the thought of them leaving her home, the place where Cheyenne had grown up. "Mom, we'll still be close," Cheyenne reassured her, seeing the emotion in Reba's eyes, her own voice thick with affection. "Just a few blocks away. You'll still see us all the time, and you'll have more space for David." She winked, a playful nudge towards Reba's burgeoning romance. Reba laughed, brushing away a stray tear, a mix of joy and nostalgic sadness. "I know, honey, it's just, you've always been here. It's hard to imagine the house without you." Then, surprisingly, offered a comforting presence, his usual boisterousness tempered by a newfound maturity. "We're not going far, Reba. And besides, think of all the free babysitting you'll get when we eventually have kids. You'll be begging us to take them back." The thought of grandchildren brought a fresh wave of joy, a hopeful glimpse into the future. Reba realized that life was a continuous cycle of endings and new beginnings, a constant ebb and flow. Her children moving out wasn't a loss, but a natural progression, a testament to the strong foundations she had built for them, the love and independence she had instilled. Ben and Van also started spending more time with Brock and Barbara Jean, deepening their relationships with their father and stepmother. Barbara Jean, with her boundless energy and infectious enthusiasm, often took them on adventures, to concerts, sporting events, or even just to quirky local festivals, fostering a different kind of bond, a more relaxed and fun-loving connection. Brock, having shed some of his earlier anxieties and insecurities, became a more present and engaged father, enjoying the renewed connection with his sons, sharing his wisdom and his dry humor. Reba watched these interactions with a quiet satisfaction, a profound sense of peace. Her blended family, once a source of constant stress and negotiation, a complex web of past resentments and present challenges, was now a tapestry of interconnected lives, each thread contributing to the richness and resilience of the whole. The children were growing up, finding their own voices, their own paths, forging their own identities. And Reba, their mother, was there to support them, to cheer them on, and to simply be present, loving them unconditionally, guiding them with a gentle hand. She realized that the greatest gift she could give her children was not to shield them from change, for change was inevitable, but to equip them with the tools to navigate it, to teach them resilience, empathy, and the importance of looking beyond the surface, whether it was a new pretty body, a complicated family dynamic, or the superficial judgments of the world. And in doing so, she was not just raising children, but nurturing individuals who would, in turn, contribute to a kinder, more understanding world, a world that saw beyond the reflection, into the true essence of humanity. The nest might be emptying, but her heart was fuller than ever. Chapter 15. The Tapestry of Life and the Promise of Forever. Life, Reba had learned, was not a linear path but a rich, intricate tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, laughter and tears, love and loss, each color and texture contributing to the overall beauty and complexity. The drama of Barbara Jean's new pretty transformation had been a pivotal thread, a catalyst for a profound change, but it was just one among many, contributing to the overall beauty and complexity of her family's story, a story that was constantly unfolding. Reba and David's relationship continued to deepen, blossoming into a love that was a quiet, steady flame, built on mutual respect, shared laughter, and a profound understanding of each other's pasts. They found joy in simple things. Long walks hand in hand through the park, evenings spent reading together by the fireplace, cooking meals in Reba's cozy kitchen, sharing stories and dreams. David brought a sense of calm and stability to Reba's life, a welcome counterpoint to its usual whirlwind of activity and emotional demands. He was her anchor, her safe harbor. One evening, as they sat on Reba's porch swing, the gentle creak of the chains, a soothing rhythm, watching the first stars emerge in the darkening sky, David turned to her, his gaze soft and earnest. "Reba," he began, his voice low, a hint of nervousness in his tone. "I've been thinking a lot about our future, and I can't imagine it without you in it. Not just in my life, but truly, deeply. As my partner." He took her hand, his thumb gently stroking her knuckles, a warm, comforting touch. "I know we've both had our share of heartache, and I respect that you've built such a strong, independent life for yourself. A life you cherish, but I would be honored if you would consider building a future with me, a shared future, a life together, forever." He pulled a small, velvet box from his pocket, opening it to reveal a simple, elegant diamond ring that sparkled in the dim light. Reba's heart swelled, a joyous flutter in her chest. Tears pricked at her eyes, blurring the edges of the world. She looked at David, his kind eyes reflecting the starlight, and saw not just a partner, but a true companion, a soulmate, a man who saw beyond the reflection, into the very core of her being. She had never thought she would find this kind of love again, a love that felt so grounded, so real, so utterly right. "David," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion, barely audible. I would love that more than anything. Yes, 1,000 times yes." She threw her arms around him, her heart overflowing with happiness. Their engagement was met with delight from Cheyenne and the boys. Ben and Van were thrilled, embracing David as a permanent fixture in their lives. Brock, surprisingly, offered his sincere congratulations, a testament to his own growth and acceptance, a genuine smile on his face as he shook David's hand. Barbara Jean, of course, immediately launched into plans for the wedding, envisioning a lavish affair with sparkle and zest and a dramatic entrance for the bride. "Reba, darling, we simply must have a theme," Barbara Jean declared, flipping through bridal magazines with an almost manic energy, her eyes alight with possibilities. "Something that screams new beginnings, but also timeless elegance. Perhaps a phoenix rising from the ashes of divorce theme, or a second act, best act extravaganza." Reba laughed, shaking her head, a warm affection filling her. "Bob, I think I'm leaning more towards a quiet, intimate ceremony in the backyard, with close friends and family, something simple, meaningful." Barbara Jean gasped dramatically, clutching her chest. "A backyard wedding? Reba Hart, where's your flair for the dramatic? This is your second wedding. It should be bigger, bolder, more fabulous." Despite Barbara Jean's theatrical protests, she threw herself into helping Reba plan the intimate ceremony, her enthusiasm infectious, her creative ideas surprisingly tasteful. She helped pick out wildflowers, baked a delicious cake, and even convinced Reba to wear a dress that had just the right amount of sparkle, a subtle shimmer that caught the light beautifully. The wedding day was perfect. The sun shone brightly. A gentle breeze rustled through the trees, carrying the scent of blooming flowers. Reba's backyard was transformed into a magical, intimate space, adorned with fairy lights and bouquets of wildflowers, a reflection of her own simple elegance. Reba, radiant in her elegant gown, walked down the aisle on the arm of her eldest son, Ben, his hand steady and strong, his eyes filled with love and pride. David stood waiting for her beneath a floral arch, his eyes shining with affection, a gentle smile on his face. As they exchanged vows, promising to love and cherish each other through all of life's seasons, through all its changes and challenges, Reba looked out at the faces of her family and friends. She saw Cheyenne and Van, holding hands, a picture of quiet contentment, eagerly anticipating the arrival of their own child. She saw Brock and Barbara Jean, sitting silent, a testament to their own journey of forgiveness and friendship, a complex but beautiful bond. She saw her younger sons, Ben and Vaughn, their faces beaming with happiness, embracing this new chapter in their mother's life. And in that moment, Reba realized that the journey she had embarked on, the one that began with a nightmare about empty salt shakers and a new pretty Barbara Jean, had led her to this beautiful, unexpected place. It was a journey of self-discovery, of confronting insecurities, of embracing change, and of finding love in all its forms. The enduring love of family, the steadfast love of friends, and the profound, soul-deep love of a partner. It was a journey of learning to see beyond the superficial, beyond the reflections in the mirror, and into the true essence of herself and others. She had learned that beauty was not a fixed state, but a fluid concept. It was in the strength of her spirit, the kindness of her heart, the resilience of her love. It was in the laughter of her children, the unwavering support of her friends, and the quiet, comforting presence of the man who now stood beside her, ready to embark on a new chapter of their lives together. As David leaned in to kiss her, a soft, tender kiss that sealed their vows, Reba closed her eyes, a profound sense of peace washing over her. She was no longer just a survivor. She was a woman fully alive, fully loved, and fully, beautifully herself. Beyond the reflection, she had found her truth, and it was more radiant than any new pretty could ever be. The tapestry of her life was still being woven, with new threads of love and adventure, but now, Reba held the shuttle, guiding its path with grace, wisdom, and an open heart. The story, she knew, was far from over, but this was a magnificent new beginning, a testament to the enduring power of love and the beauty of seeing beyond the surface.